and welcome back, where we paint away the stress of everyday life here in Wales. And I've just realised that I've broken the nib off my pencil. So without further ado, when I sharpen that pencil, let's have a quick introduction and I'll let you know what I'm going to do today.
Welcome, thanks for stopping by. It's time to learn with our friend Clive. So grab your brush, have a great time.
Okay, thank you very much for watching that introduction. So I was thinking today, I thought I'd do something a bit different. I wanted to do quite a lot in the foreground and a little bit there, maybe in distance as well, obviously, because we need to create that depth. So what I thought I'd do, first of all, I'm going to put some sort of a bank coming down like that. So that could be a bank of some sort. Maybe some rocks or something there. Maybe that would be good if we had some rocks here, and maybe some water coming down. Maybe there's like a river and it's just there. You just can't see the rest of it. It's just going there into the distance and it's just coming over you. That's a good idea. Maybe there's a rock in the water like that, and the water is going like this. I'm going to just put a bunch of trees, maybe, or some foliage just there like this, like that. I'm going to put some trees and things here like this, leaving that a little bit open. Just put a few little trees in the distance there like that, maybe, just to give it that depth. And here I think I might put a mountain or something like that, and then that's going to be sky. Does that make sense? I hope it does. I was thinking about that last night, actually. I was thinking about this painting. That I thought I got a bigger YouTube video tomorrow, so I thought as I was dozing off to sleep, as you do. I tend to think, as artists never sleep really. We tend to be painting in our dreams. We certainly do. Are you like me? Let me know in the comments if that's what you do as well. So I'm going to get a little bit of blue, a little bit of white just on my brush like this. I'm just going to get that sky just in there like this. I'm painting a little bit more today on cardboard because I quite like painting on cardboard. It helps me to store paintings or even paint over paintings. Especially making YouTube videos, because I can get through a great amount of canvases and that otherwise. So normally for YouTube I'll just paint on cardboard. You don't need to do that, obviously. You can just paint on whatever you've got. If you want to paint this on paper or you want to paint it on canvas, and that's entirely up to you, then you can do that. The reason I don't do that, as I just explained, is that's because I haven't got a lot of room. And I've been painting now for a long time, over 30, maybe 30, 40 years, maybe 30 years, yeah, maybe 40 years actually now, thinking about it now. I'm getting old. I'm getting really old. So yeah, I'm just gonna get that little sky effect in there like that. I don't want it too dark, but again I don't want it too bright. And I'm just going to bring that a bit across there like this. I want to get a bit of sky in, a little bit of water on my brush, a little bit of white, a little bit of this. This is ultramarine blue, by the way. I quite like an ultramarine blue. Maybe it's just a couple of little bits and pieces there like that, because there's going to be trees and things there. So we want a little bit of light to show through, maybe a little bit of cloud or something pattern coming through there. Let's get that in there like this. Boom, 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 boom. Get that down there, nice and light. There we are. So we got a nice mottled sky. Not so many clouds in the sky today. Let's put a little bit of this blue colour here like this. A bit of my charcoal off my pencil is coming through. That's okay. We'll just put some blue. Now we got it on the brush. We'll just bring that down like this. That'll do, wasn't it? That'll do. We got some colour there. We can add a little bit more colour to that after. So we've put our blues and stuff in. So we're going to make a grey now. So we can either use a Mars black and some white, which we could do actually. Let's see if let's make a nice grey, but only a small amount of black in there like that. Look at that. Look at that. Look how quickly that's turned that grey. But I'm going to put some burnt umber to it. So I want that browny look to this painting, or this actual colour. A little bit more brown to it. There we are. A little touch, a small smidgen of black. So we've got that grey brown type of look. There we are. And we need a bit more white to that now. And that's our undercoat for our mountain. Yeah, let's make that just that little bit darker. Let's put a bit more black to it. There we go. A bit more black. It's just making that a little bit. That's better. That's better. Just adjust your colours. Just play around with colours, and you need to make sure that, you know, things look reasonably realistic. I'm not worrying too much on detail today. All I do is paint and give you ideas and things to projects to have a go at. I'm not worried about this being perfect. I don't do perfect, never have anyway. Sometimes when I'm doing craft fairs and things, I find that these type of paintings at a distance look more like a watercolour. And people quite like that, you know. People say, wow, what's that? Is that watercolours? No, it's acrylics. Oh, I didn't know you could paint like that with acrylics. But you can. It's quite easy, actually. Let's just get a little bit more brown into that now. Because with acrylics and cardboard, you can add a little bit more water than you'd normally would use on canvas and stuff like this, because the cardboard absorbs the moisture of the paint, and actually it fixes better, I think. Personally, I think that's what happens anyway. I think it fixes into the cardboard much better. You can hear I've got a lot of gesso on that canvas, on that bit of cardboard today. My painting surface, I've got some gesso in there. All I've done is mix some titanium white, some well, you can use baking soda, or you could use marble dust. I've got marble dust because I've got a load of marble dust left over from my paint making days, because I used to make my own paints. I still do occasionally, but I've got a load of paints here now, so I don't make as much as I used to. There's plenty of videos on the channel if you want to pop along and see how I make acrylic paints, because you could do it. If you've got the pigments and stuff, you can quite easily make your own paints. You certainly can. There we are. So we've got a mountain going in there. Let's get a little bit of white just on the tip of the brush. And maybe there's a bit of snow. Maybe there's just a bit of snow just catching there, just on the ridge of these mountains. It's been snowing a little bit. This is quite a high mountain, so it gets quite cold up there sometimes. Just get a bit of light. There we are, just touching it in like that. Just letting your imagination run wild with you. There we go. Not too much, not too bright. Just make it look as if it's a distant mountain. We don't want it to be shouting at us. We just want it to look as if it's distant and misty, and you know, that blurriness. We can put a wash over it after if you want to just knock it back a little bit, but we've got a mountain going on in there. I don't want it to stick out so much then. I don't want it to be an emphasis as such. But a bit of snow. Just touching like this. Shh. There we go. Well, that'll do. That'll do. Well, that'll do. That'll do. That'll do. I'm going to dry that off with a hairdryer now. Make sure all my cameras are working, because I've been having a lot of trouble in the studio with my cameras lately and my sound. Yes, I have to get new equipment, I think. Dry that off with a hairdryer. So yeah, I use a hairdryer. I thought I'd put a little bit of mist. Let's just get a bit of moisture there. You could use, I'm going to just use a little bit of this titanium white. Be very, very careful when you do this, if you do this, because the titanium white is very, very opaque and we don't want to kill too much of what we're doing. There is a zinc mixing white that you can use for this, and I'm just going to put a mist, just a very light colour. Be very, very careful, like I said, because you don't want to spoil your painting. I'm just going to put a mist there, like that, just to make it a little bit hazy, just to make it look a little bit hazy. And maybe if I come down a little bit more there, and I'm just going to put a little bit more mist just down there, just darken that off, just a touch there, like that. Not darken it off, but try and make it look hazy then. There we go. There's always a bit of mist on the bottom of the mountain. There we are. Always a bit of mist on the bottom of the mountain. Like that. There we go. We could even put some little dippy clouds. Let's get a little bit of white. Maybe it's a little dippy cloud. It's not the best brush for this. I tell you what, let's change my brush. Boom, 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 boom. Is that any good? I don't know. Do, 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 do. Oh, I didn't clean that one very well. Look how hard that is gone. Always make sure you clean your brushes. Wow. Well, I'm going to have to change that particular brush. I'm okay for brushes because I got quite a drawer full of brushes here. And yes, lots and lots and lots of brushes. There we go. Got a nice new brush. Nice new brush. Let's get this. Couple of clouds just wafting away, maybe across the sky like that. And just blend them bottom of them out like this. Blend the bottom of them out. Wasn't going to put clouds in, but sometimes that's what happens. Blend it out, fluff it up, fluff them up, make them look a bit distant. There we go. And there's a little cloud just going across the top of the mountain. There you go. I quite like that, in fact. I really do. So I'm gonna get a slightly bigger brush now. Actually, what I'm gonna do is use that brush again. I want to get some. This is yellow ochre. I want to get some yellow ochre, some white, yellow ochre and white like that. Get that right down. Add a little touch of green to that. There's a little bit of Hooker's green, just to give it a little tinge green. Dee 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 dee. How's that? Is that okay? Is that too dark? I asked myself. Is that a little bit more? Maybe a touch of blue. Oops, maybe too much. Just a touch of blue like that. There we go. And let's just get some. Just tap in, tappy, 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 tappy. Tappy, tappy. Let's get a little bit of green. A little bit of burnt umber. There we go. A little bit more burnt umber, I think. I just want that difference of colour. There we go. We got it. It's all mixed up and all different colours down there. You can see. There we go. Right, let's darken that up. Let's darken that up. Yellow ochre. Yellow ochre. Bit of white. Bit more burnt umber. I want it darker. I want it darker. I want it darker. I want it darker. Bit more burnt umber and bit more white. There we go. We said we were going to fill this up, didn't we? What if I put a bit of red to that? Let's warm that up. Let's warm that up. Get some burnt umber. I'm just going to try and use the colours that I've got here today. Boom, 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 boom. Nice bit of yellow ochre. What's that colour like? Maybe not too much of a difference there, but back into this. Burnt umber. Bit of green. Burnt umber. Burnt umber. That colour again. Push it in, blob it in, throw it in. Boom, 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 boom. And then let's get our palette knife. Put a few marks in like this. It just saves you painting tree trunks and things. Just scrape a little bit of paint off here and there like that, see? So we can see some tree trunks and things like that now, and we're going to put some detail into that in a second. Now this side, I want to go back into some yellow ochre and some burnt umber. Again, we need to put in our, this is just an underpainting. So this is called blocking out, by the way. So just get some basic shapes like this. Boom, 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 boom. Back into that lovely burnt umber. That's like this. Again, let's get some little marks just to flow them in like this. Scrape a bit of paint off, have a bit of fun, do something different. We need to do something different. And now let's just get some paint. Doesn't matter what color I'm going to use on here now. In fact, I think I'm just going to come down, try and find this run of the bank. I need to get this bank right. There we go. So that's a bank going in there. We've got some more. We've got another edge of that river flow that's coming from that mountain. The mountain definitely coming from that mountain. There we go. Just put that in there like this. Boom, 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 boom. And I'm just going to dry that off with a hairdryer now, and see if we can put some details into this area there. We don't want to do anything there. Maybe you want to just do something there. We can play around with the water then, get the water to flow then, but we need to put some rock patterns and things in here as well. I think that's looking quite nice. Whoo, there we go. So right, we are getting there slowly. I'm not rushing this one today. I want to look at these trees there. I think I want to do this section first. Maybe I'll just get a little bit. Maybe I should put some yellow on my palette. I'm just going to add a little bit of cadmium yellow. There we go. I'll just add a little bit of cadmium yellow because I want to lighten down. So I'm going to get some yellow and some yellow ochre together. There we go, yellow ochre and yellow. So rather than lighten my yellow ochre with white, which will make it look a little bit chalky, I thought I'd lighten it with yellow. So, and if I want to darken that, I'll use some burnt umber. Look, see? So I'll darken it with burnt umber, and I'll lighten it with yellow. So I've got that lovely colour there like that. Because what I want to do is try and put in some and I'll run the water down that way, I think. There we go. Let's put some detail just on these trees like this. Now I lose a little bit of white just to lighten that up, just to sparkle, just a few of these, just a touch like that. Right, let's get some burnt umber. Let's put some shadows in. It's all about playing with tones and things. Here we are. So just get a bit of that in there like this. Don't kill all those little marks you made. You want to try and keep them. You want to try and keep them. Because that's going to give the illusion of there's trunks and things there. So it's just a mass of colour. Some highlights, some mid-tones. There we are. Get some of them mid-tones in there like this. Maybe just catching a little bit of light like that. Back into the burnt umber. Back into burnt umber. Down here it's going to be darker down here because there's shadows down there. Shadows down there. Nearly picked up the black then. We don't want to put black on there yet. Not yet. Maybe later. Maybe later. Just touching the brush. I'm not actually doing any patterns as such. I'm just letting the brush do what it wants to do. Just like that. And now I'm not even washing my brush. I'm just going back into this colour. Just tapping that in here and there. That's like that. Just a mass of leaves. A mass of leaves. That's what we want. Bit of highlight. Just on a few of these. Just to give it that illusion. Just giving it that illusion that some of these leaves just catching some light like that. There we go. So we got a lovely corner there, and let's get some yellow. Let's brighten that up just a touch more. Now what I find is my brushes get quite filled with paint, and it's not a good idea, but I always wipe my brush down like that, and it just helps me clean my brush just a touch, just to put some little highlights and things in, just like that. And push your brush down like this into some paint, squash it down. You know, I've dedicated brushes for foliage. There we go. So we've got those trees done there. Let's put a little bit more highlight there. So we've got those trees done there. We want to work on these sides of the trees now. So I'm thinking maybe a little bit darker this side. So let's just clean my brush off. In fact, I'm going to just change that brush. I'm just going to put that brush there. I've got another foliage brush that I can use. It's a different pattern then. We don't want to keep the same pattern, do we? Just getting that in. Working on the dark a little bit. We want to get a little bit darker here. So we got these lovely autumnal is it autumnal? Autumn colours. These wonderful autumn colours. I wasn't planning that today, but it happened. And these things happen. I'm going to get a little bit of green. A little bit of green coming in. Just to help the colours with the eye a little bit there, like this. Maybe, yeah, that's a good idea. I like that idea, what I've just done then. Let's get some of this. colour, a little bit of yellow ochre. Coming down there, a little bit more brown. Let's get some of this wonderful red and yellow ochre. Let's put some reds in here. You can see the tree trunks already, can't you? How we made those tree trunks. Doesn't it look as if we spent hours and hours and hours on this? But in theory we haven't. So, and that's what art's all about. And just plopping in some colours, a little bit of yellow ochre. There's a lovely dark spot there. We need to keep that. Need to keep that. We get another brush. Now this is an oval, so what I want to do is get some of this burnt umber. I'm going to push this through some burnt umber like this. I'm going to get some yellow ochre and pull that through as well, like that. A nice sharp edge now. Maybe that's not dark enough actually. Let's get a little bit of black to that. There we go. Let's get some. Let's go back into that brush. I'm just playing now. I need to look at highlights and shadows, and I'm looking at the highlights at the moment. Bit of white. So you don't need to work too hard at trying to do individual grasses and things like this, because this will work really well. I put a bit too much paint in my brush there then. I'm a bit carried away now, because we want to put some rocks in there, don't we? But we can see that, yeah, it's growing. It's really, really, really nice. Let's get some green. Some burnt umber and green. There we go. Maybe a touch of black to that. Let's get some yellow. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Bit of white. There we go. Let's get our... where did I put my palette knife? There it is. And let's just... scrape in on that. Put a little bit of this then over, just like that. And you've got a little bit of a tree trunk. Some grass. Coming down there like that. So we've got this, we're developing that, wonderful. I might put some more highlights in there in a second. I haven't quite decided. Let's have a look at our water. So we need to make sure I got a nice clean brush. Let's go back, and in actual fact, let me just check my cameras. I'm going to put, I just checked my cameras actually. I just want to put a few more of these scrape lines in, just like that. Just to make it look as if there's some branches and things. I'm gonna put a little bit more highlighted there. I might even put a few trees and things in. Let's get some blue. Oops, too dark. Too dark. This is going to come down. I want to make it look as if it's like flowing. We should put, maybe get a small brush. Let's get some of this burnt umber. Let's put some rocks. In the water, a little bit of black, but I'm going to put another, like rock feature there, maybe. There we go. That's going to come down. But just plain black, just for now, just to, I can put some highlights on that in a second. So develop some rock features. Maybe we can put a bit of a banking thing there. That could be a rocks, couldn't it? There we go. There we are. Let's get some, I got this lovely grey colour. Let's put some highlights on these rocks. Just using this grey. Just use a colour up that I've got. I'm not too fussy whether it looks okay or not. It's just highlights, isn't it? We could get some burnt umber, some white. Boom, 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 boom. Do 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 do. I'm just making this up as I go along. Boom, 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 boom. Does that look like water? It does, doesn't it? I could be going all the way over there. That river. coming from that mountain, like that, and just flowing along down the stream. Do 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 do. Bit of white. A lot of foam in this water. Just like that. It's a bit bright up there, so let's just break that down a touch like this. Get some of that. Bum, 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 bum. Boom, 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 boom. Bit of water coming down like this. Easy peasy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. There we go. So we got hopefully a nice little scene going on there. Now it's drying out. It's drying out quite nice. It's looking lovely. I need to do more there. I could do with some more rocks and things like that. Let's get my scraper and let's just scrape off a bit of paint. That's just gone a bit dry now, so that's not going to work so well. So let's get some of this lovely. Maybe there's some sand and stuff, I don't know. We'll put some bushes and things in there a second now. Let's put some bushes and things in there. What colour shall we do that? Let's get some of this green and yellow ochre mixed together. Let's put some, maybe a bit darker. Maybe we need to put some shadow there. Let's get this paint. I want to get a bit of this black colour. Darken that up there. It look as if it's soil or something like that. Let's go back into this colour. Let's get a little bit of this light colour. Boom, 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 boom. Bit of yellow maybe. Bit of yellow. Let's put some yellow in. Let's have a look. Just lighten that up. Just like that. There you go. Just a little bit of whatever that is. I don't know what that is. You make it up. You tell me what that is. I have no idea what that is. Get some green. Toppy, toppy, toppy. Change the brushy. just a mixture of colour, little dabs of this colour, little dabs of that colour, a little bit of green, a little bit of dark colour, and it all adds to the effect when we come to it. Let's get some white over there now. So it all adds to the effect, doesn't it, if you think about it. Let's put some a nice yellowy type of tree there, like that. Got some of that, these lovely yellow patterns that you see. Let's get some lovely white and stuff. Let's put some maybe not that much. Boom, 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 boom. Maybe a little bit of red. Maybe there's a few little whatever they are, flowers. Them type of flowers. Just drop my brush on the floor. Oh no, I'm gonna bend down now. Oh, getting old. Let's get some that lighter colour in front of them now. Because time is going on, what I'm going to do is get some burnt umber, some black. I'm just going to put a big rock by here, like this. Let's get some light on that. Boom, boom, boom. Maybe that's too bright. It's picked up a bit of that green there now. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. There we go. Let's just darken a few of these areas there, like that. It was raining terrible today out there. It really is. I don't know what this weather is doing. I don't know what it's like where you are, but I tell you what, the climate is definitely changing. Oops, that's too bright. There you go. Let's get a script lining brush. I'm just going to thin this paint right down now and just put some blades of grass. Just like that. Just here and there, here and there and here. Here and there. tell me what I could do. Let's get our brush. Let's put a water line. Just like that. Boom, 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 boom. Right, what else can we do? What else can we do? Put a little bit of a dead tree there, like that, maybe. Can you see that? Is that a bit too dark? Bit of a dead tree, just catching the light just a touch. There we go. Bit of a dead tree there. That looks okay, I think. Maybe. There's a few little water lines. You can play around with this for ages and ages and ages and ages. I quite like that though. I quite like that today. I quite like that. There you go. Don't like that bit. I didn't like that. This is what happens when you start to mess about. See, so if I try and clean this brush now, if I'm very quick, I should be able to. Wash that out of there like that. Let's put some bluebells in. There's a little bit of blue flowers. I don't know what they are. Bit of blue there, like that. There we go. Get some daisies, or maybe, I don't know. Put some little flowers and things. Some more blue here and there like that. Always red's a good one. Red is always good to sell paintings. Always put a little bit of red in. It just catches the eye a touch. Don't want a lot. Don't overdo it. There we go. Don't overdo it. But I'm happy with that today. I'm going to call that done. I'm going to call that done. But I can see something I want to do. Before I go, I want to thank you very much for joining me in the studio today, and liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing. I hope I've encouraged you to paint away that stress of everyday life that you find yourself in, like I do every day in Wales. And I just have fun just coming out here with an idea and thinking, what can I paint today? How can I inspire people today? And I hope today that I've managed to do that. So, see you next time. Bye bye.